Year, I'm gonna play this drum. Uh, about 50 Cent. I can't find where my homeboy said. I don't know how to get to them, but I'm gonna wait till people come in. So I'm see if I can find it. Not automatically just explain it what they said. Hate that. Plus, I wanted to show people probably already did it. I haven't seen anybody that did it except for I seen it on Facebook this morning. All right, let's get to it. So listen, 50 tell this story.
Cardi B breaking up with you, that was the smartest move she could have made. You were putting on a show who couldn't see it. You were never truly about her. You were about the spotlight. Riding a bouncing stage, playing the role of the devoted, loving man. On camera, you'd act concerned about her pregnancy, but your eyes were on the lens, thinking about your brand, your reputation, and then all the non-stop drama rumors about more kids, different women around you, messy stories that just keep popping up. It's chaos. And those legal issues, come on. A real man who loves a woman makes her feel safe and secure. He doesn't leave her constantly cleaning up messes or answering for his problems. Now you lost the game, you lost the girl, and you got controversy hanging over your head. That's not bad luck. That's your own doing. I don't feel sorry for you at all. Cardi B is bold, successful, and bigger than all this. She was never meant to be weighed down by someone who can't keep his life together. Walking away from you wasn't just smart, it was necessary.
This was 6 days ago. So I wonder how these Jones be. I don't know how they be on the side. I don't like to be on TikTok. So I don't really be on TikTok like that. But this is a TikTok video, and I'm not trying to steal the shine because this has viral me personally, so it's not something I want to share with everybody. But my homeboy said that their nephew or they got locked up, and they said they took, of course, the family come to them because they making money. So they said leave him in there, leave him in there. He needed to learn a lesson, and they said that prison, going to jail/prison, can save your life. And then Wallow was talking about how it saved his. He did it 25. It doesn't matter. I don't know. Like sitting down for a couple months, it don't really do nothing for people. But sitting down for 25 years, that's a long ass time. Think of that. how your mind, well, how would you come out of jail? Are you supposed to go to jail and come out and do the same things? Would you do the same things? And do it teach you anything? See, what I learned is jail doesn't rehabilitate you. Prison doesn't rehabilitate you. You have to rehabilitate yourself because you need to sit down. That's what being sat down is. And being sat down is, you when you're in jail, you don't have really that much to do. It's not it's not a game. It's life. Jail is a part of life. Death is a part of life. Taxes is part of life. All of these things are a part of life. Job. What you gonna do with your life? But 50, when he said, so I just heard prior to this, and I don't think I saved that either. Then a message from, what's this guy's name? It's the guy from Texas. Oh yeah, yeah. He was putting something out with Gunna Meezy. See if I saved that. When King put this out right here.
RIP. Swisher House, boss. Come on, get it right here. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. That's live, man. Much love. Yeah, this the old school tape before Swisher House. He used to just be signing like that. I used to buy them from K Bargain back in the day. Swisher House, this goddamn camp. Mike Jones. Mike Jones. Mike Jones, Young Thunder News, man. The Don Kiki in the building. We got Power Wild, baby. We got goddamn Cam, the superstar himself. Yeah, we up in Big Watch, man. Represent RIP. Swisher House, boss. Come on, get it right here. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. That's live, man. Much love. Yeah.
So I just wanted to get my take on the situation. Now, and me personally, because it does mean something. All of this is what we take. Like when you go into jail, you don't have, most people don't have this. When I went in, we didn't have all this. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Instagram. We had this slow ass email that we could send out where you got on the phone. That's the only time you could talk to your family. I ain't really had time to talk to my family. I used to be in the law library trying to learn the law and then stay in shape. Watch a little bit of TV Sundays. I would watch the Eagles game. But other than that, I didn't have time. I work 12 hours a day. I think that shit was like 8 cents. So the most important thing that I learned when I went to jail is I ain't going. They say you coming back. I'm not part of that percentage that's trying to go back to jail or prison. Shout out to Street Poet 973. He said we had magazines back then. That was social media. And nosy lady in the building window. And we ain't had like, I was in jail. I mean, niggas had phones, but that I wasn't trying to risk staying any longer in jail than I had to, because taking the fall for somebody else's shit in jail. And I remember I was on a visitation and I came back. This was at Fort Dix. I was a camp, but it was wide open. It's like a campus. In fact, it's like Fort Dix is an actual army base. It's an army base. But even there, they got a law library. So I used to be at the law library. And then walk around, find out, get some fresh air. But, you got beavers on it. My grandmother, and that's where you find out who's your partners, who's your friends, who gonna put money on your book. You see, I've never been the person to ask nobody to do anything for me. I lived off the land. And living off the land is, yeah, whatever, you had to hustle, you hustle. And so I picked the best hustle. What does everybody want on the compound? Or most people want on a compound? They want to go home. So I already knew the law before I went to jail. So I just honed my skills. And I was trying to get myself home. But other people needed help. And they was, they had I put them first. So that was my mistake because I stayed in jail longer than I had to been working on my own case. Anyway, I learned a bit of toleration. And another thing that you learn is, yo, you don't got time to be every day in there. You have to think with your brain box. You got to gauge what people are saying. Like it's a whole new life in jail is not life outside. Life goes on. So some people need to be sat down because they don't, you know, they're not. It's something wrong with them. Whatever they went through in life or whatever, up until the age that they're at. But once you become a man, you're responsible for your word. So you got to be careful how you talk in jail. Just like you got to be careful how you talk over this internet. That's one thing. You got to be careful how you talk to people in person, and you just carry yourself a different way. I showed the picture of myself in jail because that's a prison uniform. I wasn't in jail, I was in prison, federal prison, FCI, Farrakhan, and it's called a federal correction institution. But what you doing if you ain't fighting your case? If you ain't trying to get out, what you doing? You trying to just stay in, you just want to stay in jail? I know most people is fighting their cases, even after judgment, trying to appeal to a higher court. And then you have your religion, which I don't talk about over here like that. I'm not trying to get into religious talks over here. But as for me, this has always been my guide. When I say God, I mean in both ways. The Bible, word. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. So we know that some people don't believe in the Bible, but it's a prison right there. It's a officer, it's a judge, it's a adversary, and then it says agree. So the only thing I have a problem with accepting is when people say smart. I use smart. I didn't become smarter when I went to jail. I became wiser when I went to jail. I never read smart in the Bible. That's a made up word, made up by somebody else. But if you look them up, they don't mean the same thing. They don't. They don't mean the same thing. See, I went to jail at a young age. I went into the military, came out the military, worked for AIG Life Insurance Company, and then they had them towers come down. And I said, I have kids. I can't be dependent on this man for money. That's why I started my company. And said I'll never work for anyone again. Part of that is knowing what in realm and in persona is. Because and when to plead and when to go to trial. You go to trial to test that is, and it's everybody's right to test the weight of the government's case against you. But you have to make that decision, not your attorney, because your attorney he's gonna go home. No matter what he does for you, if you win or you lose, he's going home. Your attorney. No matter how much you paid him, anything. If you plead out quickly without looking at your discovery, you won't know how to plead and what you should plead to. You won't know what a true bill is. You don't know what a true bill is. You ain't trying to, and some people just going and they're gonna tell, oh, I'm facing this many years. I knew how much time I was facing. Looked at the guidelines, see how much time I was facing. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Because it was other people who depended on me and didn't have time to get rocked. Yeah, I didn't have time to get football numbers because when you go to trial, that's what they're trying to do, get you football numbers. I didn't have no background in criminology. I'm in crimes. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. I looked at it, at it, and I pled guilty. But I wasn't pleading guilty to all that shit that they would ill. I don't know nothing about that. That's other people's shit. I was there by myself. I wasn't in no conspiracy. I didn't plead to no fucking conspiracy. Never got charged with no conspiracy. To do nothing. I did it myself. Pled by myself. But I knew what I wasn't going to do. I wasn't going in front of no fucking judge and lie. So your sentencing memorandum it it actually speaks a certain way, and it says you agree to these certain things. So if you agree to a conspiracy, then there is no longer a theory. So I'm going to show you something that came up, and I hope y'all keeping up so you'll know exactly what's going on. And the boy rainwater. I laugh at the dude because he knows what he doing. So of course I'm listening to what he say. But he younger than me. I don't listen to him for knowledge than anything than what I know you doing. And that's telling. That's one thing I learned in prison is you know when somebody's telling. Either they tell you they telling, somebody tell them, if somebody tell you that they're a rat and they'll tell, you gonna believe them? So let me just say this. I learned that it costs money to house people. So when I'm over here talking, I'll be telling people, why don't you do us a favor and just don't make them take it to trial. Why don't you just go ahead and just do that? So don't nobody gotta pay no taxes. It's selfishness and selflessness. I learned the difference between state court and federal court. But federal court, those judges are appointed for life. So they don't give a fuck about your lawyer and they don't give a fuck about the prosecutor. But I don't see how it is because Department of Justice, the judges are under the Department of Justice. The FBI, all of them are all under what they call the Department of Justice. So I learned that game. So it ain't too much people could tell me about jail if they never been to jail. And that's the one lesson my grandmother taught me other than what else she taught me. When I was in jail, there was no sense in complaining or anything like that because I put myself there. Yeah, you're defending. It's my birthday. Now, this is on his name, on your reputation. They telling you, they saying this. called prior bad acts to enhance any sentence that you get. It's crazy. So all of the times you got off, I ain't no preacher. I ain't no judge. I'm just another nigga that can tell you they saying that this is a summary of the discovery provided as it relates to the homicide investigation of Noble and related fuel, all the way back to I use a song. They using this against you. There, I'm gonna stop right there. Why would they use this? Why would they be using this against you? If you was telling the truth, why would they be using this against you? And why are they using MO3 songs? Yo, look at it. I want y'all to just look at this shit. They put they using. So let me just say this. There was a case in Pennsylvania. All the people was in state. They got music they using to say y'all was in a feud. And then look how many shooting. Why would the state put that in there? The Unruly Citizens Concert, Yellow Beezy, and MO3, 7/27/2019. If it wasn't the truth, how you think the government is looking at this case? Hold on. Sorry about that. But just try to imagine if Rainwater got up this morning and said on Facebook, it said somebody that we'll never expect, or somebody big is coming, going to be at the trial. They're going to have it all blocked off and everything. Who is that big to come down to Texas that they would need that? They would need to block off the court. Well, I mean, are they blocking the court off for you? Or, I mean, this is a big case. How Rainwater know already what's getting ready to happen if he's on live and say they took him up to a room, cops took him up to a room, boop, 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 boop. So it's going to be a large police presence. Who do you think coming to trial? But it ain't even like he think it's going to be. Paragraph 23. So I want to ask y'all, anybody, did they ever think that's the download? Down. Paragraph 23. That federal document sitting up in the copyright case. What the paragraph 23 said. It didn't name Yellow Beezy. It didn't name none of those songs or nothing, but they fighting over song. of the cross complaint. Look at this document. And then think about who coming to testify.